Today I'm going to be going going over and showing you how I go about doing a grounding meditation, how I go about grounding my energy. This is one of many ways that I ground my energy, and I want to share this with you so you can take this and allow your intuition to guide you in a way that supports you, with it being a anytime that you are feeling overwhelmed, anytime that you just want clarity, peace of mind, anytime you want to reset, then being able to ground your energy, whether it's a regular practice or something that you're doing whenever you're just in need of wanting to find that additional support in your life, then that is what grounding your energy can do. Um, and if there's any if there's any questions that you have, you can let me know. You can share in the comments, and I hope that this is going to give you the clarity that you need, allow you to reset for the day, for the week, for a new month, whenever you are tuning into this. So we're going to be on here for no more than 30 minutes. That's the maximum amount of time. And let's get started. So I want to go over just what to expect. The first thing that I'm going to walk you through is just allowing yourself to center your point of focus. And then once we do that, then we're going to go into really connecting your energy into and with the earth. It's about an integration with the earth element. And then from there, we'll go into clearing clearing and releasing any energy, emotions, thoughts, anything you're wanting to rid yourself of, anything you want to, anything that's no longer serving you. Then we'll go into releasing that. And then we will recenter and go into some breath work. And then we'll start to conclude. So let's begin. All right. So centering your point of focus. The whole purpose here is to allow the mind to have a focal point, because the mind is the thing that's all over the place. The mind is the thing, anytime you're doing a meditation, that is the thing where it feels like you're not meditating right, because your mind is all over the place. And so you want to allow the mind a focal point. This does not mean that you won't have other thoughts or things that come in. That is normal. That is okay. Over the course of your meditative practice, you will start to be able to stay focused for longer periods of time. Anytime that you get into a place where you feel like you're becoming distracted, the whole purpose is to return back to that focal point. It's okay if distractions come in, but the goal and the intention is to return back. So don't feel like you're doing something wrong. Don't feel bad if you start to get distracted. Just give yourself permission to return back to your focal point. All right. So in order to focus the mind, what I like to do is start with something that's very tangible. So however you're positioned right now, if you are sitting in a chair, if you're laying down, if you're sitting on the floor, I want you to draw all of your attention and your focus to that connection between your seat, whatever you're sitting on, and your body, wherever that contact point is. That's where I want you to draw all of your focus, to your seat. That connection between your body and whatever you are sitting or laying on. Draw all of your focus there. And you can breathe normally. You don't have to go into any deep breath work unless you feel led to. But right now, we're just focusing on giving the mind a focal point. That connection between your body, whatever that material is that you're sitting on, If it's a mattress, if it's a chair, if it's a floor pillow, if you're sitting in nature, wherever you're at, what does that connection feel like? What is how can you describe it? These are the things I want you to think about. If you're journaling, you can jot down notes if you want to. This is all about awareness. You might notice that as you are drawing all of your focus there, you might start to feel heavier. You might start to feel the weight between that chair or that mattress, whatever you're on, and your body, because you're paying more attention to it. And as you're doing that, how does it feel? Do you feel comfortable in your seat? Or as you're laying down, does that contact between your body and whatever surface you're on, does it feel soft? Does it feel too soft? Does it feel firm? Do you feel supported in the position that you're in right now? It doesn't matter if you're sitting upright and your feet are planted, or if you're in a lotus position, or if you're laying down, whatever position you're in, what does that contact between your body and the surface that you're on feel like? Do you feel supported? If it's yes, that's good. If you don't feel supported, what you can do is reposition yourself. This is the time to reposition yourself. And as you're doing that, find that connection again. Do you feel supported in the position that you're in that contact that you have between your body and the surface that you are sitting or laying on? So this could be underneath your thighs. What does that feel like? Your lower back, that connection. All of that is part of your seat. We're drawing our focal point there because this is the area where your root chakra is, in that base of your spine area. So we're drawing all of our focus to that contact between your surface that you're sitting on and your body, right where that's at. Once you feel supported in the position that you're in, once you're there, the next phase we're going to go into is connecting with the earth element. So when you're connecting with the earth element, what I first want you to do is, as you have that focus between that connection of the surface that you're on and your body, that feeling of support that you have, I want you to allow that to extend into your hips, into your thighs, your knees, down your legs. You can take your time with this. You're extending that connection, that feeling of support, that feeling of stability. You're allowing that to pool into your hips, flow down your thighs, your knees, your lower legs, into your ankles. Allow this to extend into the tops of your feet, your toes, pay attention to what this feels like as you're extending this support down and through the lower half of your body. Once you feel that connection on the tops of your feet and in your toes, I want you to allow that feeling to sink and absorb into your feet and settle at the soles of your feet, at the bottom of your feet. You can take a few minutes to do this. I want you to really connect with that feeling. And you can do this a few times as you feel led to do it. Sometimes it takes a while to imagine that connection. And depending on how you connect, you might need to visualize this connection, this flow extending. You might need to tune into a feeling or a sensation. What does that feel like for you? Maybe there's an inner knowing where you know when you have reached that point of allowing this connection to flow and settle. Once you get to that point where you have, where that connection has settled into the soles of your feet or into the bottom of your feet. And again, it doesn't matter if your feet are not touching a surface. If you're in a lotus position, if you're laying down, that's fine. You should still be able to feel that sensation or that connection or that visualization in the soles of your feet. Once you're there, just want you to sit in this for a moment. Allow yourself to be really present in this connection. We've taken that focal point, we've extended that connection into the lower half of our body. The next thing we're going to do is bridge the gap between that connection between the soles or the bottom of our feet. And we're going to extend that energy into the center of the earth, whatever that center feels like for you. Start extending that energy into the ground, into the floor, surpassing any surface that you're on, going into the center of the earth. If you're laying down and your feet aren't in contact with the surface, or you're in a lotus position, that's okay. That energy can still extend into the center of the earth. Imagine that connection just working its way through whatever material, whatever surface that you're on, surpassing the foundation of whatever building you're in. It's continuing to extend into the earth's surface. And during this phase, you might feel some resistance. It's okay if you feel resistance. It's okay if it's hard for you to imagine if you are visualizing right now, if you're a visual person to connect. You're working through that resistance because that's life, right? That's exactly why it can be so hard or so challenging or difficult to ground yourself, because you have to work for it sometimes. You have to work through it. And that's what we're actively doing in this meditative process. Allow yourself to question, what does this resistance represent for me right now? What is this, any resistance that I'm experiencing as I am extending my connection to the center of the earth? What will this allow me to reconsider? How will this support me? Not all resistance is bad. Sometimes you need resistance in order to gain traction so you can propel yourself forward. So you can go deeper within your intuitive work, so you can dive deeper into whatever it is you're wanting to do, you're wanting to focus on. Once you're in the center of the earth, once you get there, you should feel a slight shift. Any resistance that you might have felt or you might be feeling as you are seeking and reaching that center of the earth, you should feel a shift. You should feel a bit of a balance or a neutrality when you reach that center of the earth. I'll give you a few moments to really tune into that connection. You might feel water in the center. You might feel this connection with water. You might feel rocks and stones. You might feel like there's just a dark abyss. How you connect with the center of the earth is completely individual. I'm not going to shape that for you. I'm giving you some awareness on, once you reach that point, you will feel a difference. And it should feel supportive. Your temperature, the temperature might shift. You might feel a coolness or a warmth, depending on your current temperature, your current state. So if you're warm right now, if you're getting warm right now, then you might feel a coolness there. If you're kind of cool right now, then you might feel a bit of a warmth when you reach that point. They should feel fluid. Once you reach that point, it should feel like possibility is there. Even if you don't know what that possibility is, but that there's something more, even if you can't articulate it. Now that we're at the center, now we're going to do some breath work. This is where the breathing begins. During this breathing process, this breath work that we're going to do, I want you to focus on extending that energy that's in the center of the earth. You're going to extend that energy up into the soles of your feet, up your legs, into your hips, and back to our focal point. So let's begin. Start taking a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your nose or your mouth, your choice, whatever feels good for you. Allow this deep breathing to feel steady and intentional. You don't want it to be forced. Feel the expansion in your abdomen. Feel the expansion in your solar plexus as you take a deep breath in. With every inhale, you're drawing that connection, that energy of the center of the earth, you're drawing that up. You're drawing that up through the bottoms of your feet, through the soles of your feet. As you're exhaling, you are releasing any energy, any emotions, any thoughts that are no longer serving you. With every inhale, you're filling yourself with that center of the earth energy. With every exhale, you are releasing whatever's holding you back, whatever's keeping you stuck. You are giving it permission to let go. Every inhale is reinforcing your connection to the earth element. Every exhale, you are clearing. You're creating space. You're creating space to allow that possibility, to allow that unknown idea to have a place. Continue inhaling and filling yourself with that center of the earth energy, allowing it to reach in through the soles of your feet, pulling into your ankles, the tops of your feet into your toes, reaching up your upper legs, your thighs, into your hips, into your lower back. Giving yourself permission to let go as you exhale. However, that emotion that you've been holding on to has been serving you, give it gratitude. Be thankful and give it permission. You tell that emotion, that thought, that fear, that it has served its purpose and that you're ready to move on now. Give yourself permission to let go and create space. Once you feel that center of the earth energy has pulled and filled that lower half of your body, you should feel it in your hips. I want you to feel that connection to your seat. That's where we began. What does that connection feel like now? Breathe into that. Continue to breathe. Now we're going to draw our energy up into our stomachs, up into the diaphragm, up into your heart space. Draw that center of the earth energy all the way up. Allow it to fill your belly, your stomach, whatever word works for you, your abdomen. into your diaphragm, into your heart space. Bring it up, draw it up, into your shoulders. Oh, some of you have some tension in your shoulders and in your upper back. Draw that energy up. Allow it to extend into your arms, into your hands, into your throat, your neck. Fill yourself with that center of the earth energy until it reaches the very top of your head, your crown. You should feel it hovering. Let it fill your body until it's kind of hovering and pooling a few inches above the top of your head or your crown. And once you reach that point, you should feel another shift. You might feel a shift in a temperature and in the sensation that you're feeling. You might feel a bit more expanded. You might feel more peace. Whatever's coming up for you, pay attention to that. Once you have allowed that center of the earth energy to pool at the top of your head or your crown, I want you to allow yourself to create a bubble around you. Encasing yourself in that energy, creating a bubble, an energy field around you. Continue to breathe into that. And it may feel, you may experience some resistance here as well in encompassing yourself in the energy. This might take some practice for you as you, if you decide to have a regular practice of grounding, this aspect of expanding and encasing yourself and then expanding that energy. That might take some time for you to visualize or for you to feel, and that's okay. Even just this beginning process of knowing that it's possible to not only fill yourself with this center of the earth energy, but to also expand into that energy, to also use this as an energy field around you to reinforce the energy field that's already there, that you already have. Whether you realize you have one or not, you do. Knowing that it's possible and that one day you will be able to feel or to visualize that connection and that reinforcement in that energy field, that is a good place to be as well. Once you're at that point, whether it's just knowing that it's possible to reinforce your current energy field with that center of the earth energy that you have filled yourself with, whether you already feel that connection and you've extended that energy into that bubble that you're currently in, that you've created for yourself, that already exists. Once you're at that point, I want you to start breathing normally. And I want you to find where gratitude is housed in your body right now? Where is that? And we're going to conclude with gratitude. And with that, notice how we're not coming out of this bubble. We're not coming out of this energy. We are in this energy. You are grounded, you have released, and you're connected to this earth energy. And now what you do throughout the day, throughout the evening, throughout the week, you stay connected to this energy. And you continuously reinforce any time that you do grounding work. You're connecting, you're releasing, and you are reinforcing the support that you need to propel you forward throughout your day. You're reinforcing the support that you need to find that courage within you. I hope that this has served you. If you have any questions or if you want to share what has come up for you through this process, how does this feel for you? Let me know. I'll stay on for a few moments. And if there's any questions, I will be more than happy to answer any questions. And if you're watching the replay, you can post your questions or what has come up for you in the comments, and I'll respond there. You can do this at any time of day. You can do this as often as you want, as often as you feel you need, whether it's once a week, once a month, once a day. Grounding your energy allows you to balance your energy. It allows you to clear your thoughts. It allows you to find your center. So I want you to keep that in mind. And one of the biggest distinctions between at least how I go about grounding my energy and why I wanted to, and this is one of the ways, right? Why I wanted to share my process with you is because I've done grounding meditations where we start focusing on the breathing first. And sometimes I have personally found that to be distracting because the breath work is also the air element, and the air is the mind. So if my mind is already overactive or I'm kind of thinking too much, overthinking, sometimes it keeps me in that space. And this varies. It depends on how you're feeling when you are preparing to ground yourself and what element you need most. But either way, at least for me, giving my mind something to do I have found has been the greatest thing to get me centered more efficiently, to get me there faster. So this has been one of my favorite ways to ground my energy, and I hope that you have found something that supports you. And if it hasn't served you, if you don't really feel connected with this process, that's fine too. There's more than one way to ground your energy, like I mentioned before. But maybe there are some things that I've shared in my process that you can incorporate, that maybe you did connect to, that you can incorporate in your practice. Gratitude for self and universe, strength, cleansing, pride, balance between myself and my space. Awesome. I love that. Thank you. So also tune back in and let me know how this, and one thing that you can do at the end of your day, do some reflections on how staying connected to this center of the earth energy, how has that helped you throughout your day? How has that supported you? If you're new to grounding your energy, or if you're new to this process, it might take you some time. Or if you're getting like reacquainted, right, with maybe you're familiar with energy work and grounding work and meditation. um, Sometimes we do the meditation and then we move on throughout the day, and then we kind of forget what we did. And with my process, what I like to do is stay in the practice. That's why we stayed in our bubble. We reinforce our energy field with that energy, right? So you can release and clear things and also carry something with you, right? So, and carry something with you that's not holding you down, but reinforcing the things that you desire, reinforcing what you need. And that's the part that you carry with you, with you throughout the day. So I want to encourage you to be mindful of how you carry this center of the earth energy, this earth element. How are you carrying that with you? How is it supporting you? Allow it to support you. That is the intention of doing this grounding work. You don't just want to do, clear, release, and then forget about it. No, you want to carry it with you throughout the day, throughout the evening, no matter what time of day, or when you're doing this. That's when you really get the benefit. And then reflecting at the end of the day, even if it's just like, okay, you know what? How have I felt supported today? How has this earth element, what has this brought to surface for me? Because sometimes when you clear the emotions or the thoughts or the things that have been kind of clouding your mind, or have been, when you rebalance, sometimes it brings up more shit. And that's okay, because going back to the question of how can this earth element, how can this grounding energy support this stuff that's surfacing, support this stuff that maybe I've been avoiding and that now I need to deal with, that now I'm prepared to deal with this because I have this connection. I feel grounded now. I feel centered. And I have something that I can do. I have a process to allow me to recenter myself whenever I need, right? Grounding your energy and releasing is not about avoidance. It's not about avoidance. It's about dealing with what's in front of you. And I mentioned that resistance that you might feel sometimes, it's not always a bad thing. So I want you to keep that in mind. So those are just some tips that I wanted to share. And let me know if you have any questions. Hello. Hey, Cosmic Ray. And I'm just here answering any questions that you might have on grounding energy, or the work that we just did together. If you're catching the replay here, I honor my commitment. It was 30 minutes that we actually did the work. And now I'm just giving some additional tips. I've been working with earth energy lately, but haven't been consistent. Well, listen, you are right on time here then. I don't know if you were here from the beginning, but I started at 6 a.m. Central Time is when I started this recording. But again, it doesn't matter when you're watching this. You can do this at any time. I wanted to kick off this, kick the day off with this grounding energy, and showing how one of my favorite ways to ground my energy. So I think it's great that you're working with earth energy, and maybe this is a divine alignment that can support you in your practice, so you can find that consistency. And speaking of consistency, I'll share this and then I will wrap up, is I will be doing a live stream every Friday morning at 6 a.m. Central, and that's 7 a.m. Eastern. I think that's 4 a.m. Pacific time. And I'll be doing that. I think it's posted on my YouTube thing from today, the 1st of July, until I think the 5th of August. I'll be doing a live stream, and I'm going to be showing you some ways that you can, whether it's with meditative work, visualizations. I'll be sharing with you some of my favorite ways and how I like to do certain things, what I have found to be very beneficial and work for me. So I'll be guiding you through that process. So if you are not subscribed to my channel, be sure to do that. If you know anyone that would find great value in this, be sure to share this. And I am going to be putting timestamps on here. So for those of you that just want the meditation and you don't want the the tips that I'm sharing at the end, then you can just do that 30 minutes, because we did end like right at that 30 minutes. All right. So I know y'all got stuff to do. I want you to enjoy your day. I'm recording this on the 1st of July, 2022. So what intention are you setting for this new month? What do you want to change? What do you want to do more of? What do you want to be better at? What do you want to be more consistent at? Right? Think about that. Share your reflections. You can always return back to this and share your reflections, or what comes up for you if you decide to do this every day or every week, or even just reflecting at the end of your day. Definitely come back in the comments and let me know what has come up for you and what your takeaways were, or once you had time to kind of process this, like what came up for you during that process. All right. It has been a pleasure. Enjoy your day and stay connected.